Hi everybody, this Saturday I'm doing the webinar about the signature credit recoupment, why it's lawful, how it all works, and why there's only 0.01% of the world population that could actually do it, because there's a limitation on how much can be recouped via taxes. It's all going to be explained on the Saturday webinar, Saturday 10 AM this coming Saturday. But I want to go into a little bit of a story here, short story. I've been researching Empower the People, Simon Goldberg and Simone Marshall, and what they've been doing on 1099 OID filings for the members of their private members association, which is called Empower the People. And I discovered, because I was sent a lot of forensic evidence from ex-members of Empower the People who Simon Goldberg has been trying to sue in private criminal prosecutions. I discovered that Simon Goldberg was committing a RICO fraud against the United States Treasury because of the way that he is filing 1099 OIDs. He's doing it in exactly the same way that others have tried to do it, and although they may get some early results, quite often these people that do it the way that Simon Goldberg does it end up in jail. And it's very interesting that I put a report together on the 1st of February 2026, and in my early exchanges with Dan Needle from Tax Policy Associates, I sent Dan Needle this forensic report that breaks down what Simon Goldberg's doing, how he's doing it, why it's RICO fraud, why it's a fraud on the United States Treasury, and then I sent Dan Needle various other technical papers on what Simon Goldberg's doing and why it could get his membership into significant trouble. Not only could they get frivolous filing penalties, in fact many of them have. One of their members came to us with a $450,000 IRS tax bill as a result of the deficient way that Simon Goldberg's method had been used to try and do signature credit recoupment. Got it all completely wrong, and the lady ended up with a $450,000 tax bill, which we've been able to discharge with the IRS Treasury. That's a subject for a different video, different webinar. So basically what's going on here is I sent all of this to Dan Needle at Tax Policy Associates. I also sent, or Ecclesia Law, sent everything to the IRS, because this is egregious and many people could go to jail, and as Simon Goldberg will be putting his membership in jail if the IRS get complete complete focus on what he's doing. It looks as if he's filed hundreds of 1099 OIDs completely unlawfully, with no license, with no research, filing it from the debtor, not the creditor, just making every single mistake possible. And although some people may have had a check back, that check that they've had is in danger of being clawed back, and if you bank the check you could end up going to jail, because you're receiving taxes as a rebate, as a recoupment, that do not belong to the body corporate birth certificate construct. So all of that is in this report and various other reports that I sent to Dan Needle. Well then, bizarrely, not that many weeks afterwards, in fact February the 25th, and this report was sent to Dan Needle on February the 1st. So only 3 weeks later does Dan Needle write this, pretty much based on the information that I sent to him. All of this is in my reports that I sent to Dan Needle, and he's got put this whole website together, and then bizarrely what Simon Goldberg has been doing is trying to defend himself, which is basically there's no way to defend against this. All of this stuff that Dan Needle is reporting on, I pretty much sent to Dan Needle. when I was trying to get him to take down his libelous and malicious comments about me. So all of this stuff here, the whole thing that Simon Goldberg is offering his membership is a fraud. It is 100% going to get his membership into great difficulty if the IRS look into it even further. So here we go. That's the backstory. Now, the interesting thing is, if you are a member of Empower the People, what you should be interested in is that there is a very lawful way of doing this. The Clifford Protocol, which is taken me many years to develop, has got 100% lawful characteristics. It is the only way to do it without getting an IRS investigation. We had 600 million of confirmed recoupments last year. Many of our members have received their recoupments. It is 100% lawful. It is all done professionally through a professional tax filing license. It is all checked and verified with the IRS before any recoupments are received. We have major US banks involved that are receiving the recoupments. We have also got the complete oversight of a professional trustee company that makes sure that everything is lawful and done completely in line with the IRS tax manual. And it is, in my opinion, the only way to do it lawfully. Circa 0.1% of the world population is eligible for this, because there's about 200 billion of taxes being paid by investment banks. That's what you're recouping. It's the taxes. It's called the 945 tax module. Investment banks pay taxes on your energy because they are basically using your energy. That's the signature credit. They pay taxes to the United States Treasury, around about 200 billion taxes a year on the use of your energy. That's what you are recouping. So if you divide the eligible world population by 200 billion into 200 billion, you get a figure of about 500,000 that can do this year in, year out without exhausting the budget. And that is about 0.01% of the eligible world population. So if you want to be part of that, and if you are in the Empower the People membership and you're a bit worried about your exposure here, because there is a significant risk here for you if you have had Simon Goldberg file paper tax returns. That's the 1099 OID. And he basically he will try and avoid all of his liabilities. Unfortunately, he's confirmed on witness statements, there's forensic evidence. He's actually admitted to doing this in his documents, on his website, in his AGM meetings. I've got all the evidence. It's all been submitted to the IRS because they were going to find out anyway. As they always do. They always find out who's doing these tax filings unlawfully, and those promoters of it quite often go to jail. So if you are concerned about that and you are an Empower the People member, this Saturday I'm going to be explaining how you can get yourself out of that liability and how you can do the Clifford Protocol. There is a special offer which I'm going to be offering any Empower the People member who wants to get out of the liability of what Simon Goldberg's put them right in the crosshairs of the IRS, potentially with a federal prosecution, if not that, a frivolous filing penalty, if not that, a clawback of any recoupments that have come through from Simon's unlawful 1099 OID program. I've got a special offer for Empower the People members who want to come and do it correctly, want to come and do it lawfully, and want to do it year on year without any risk of any clawbacks, prosecutions or frivolous filing penalties. If you want to come, the invitation is readily available on our websites. It's in our Telegram channels. You'll find it in various places. And if you are interested in knowing how to do it properly and avoiding these risks, please come. I urge you to come, because you have no concept of the consequences that you are walking into and probably have already walked into by what Simon Goldberg has done. See you Saturday.